So Michigan State plus 23 against Michigan. I'm on it. This is too many points. This line has gotten out of hand. Look, Michigan really wants this game. Yeah, they lost back-to-back years. They lost as 21-point favorites at home 2 years ago. Granted, there was no fans in the stands. Wolverines are talking shit. Michigan State's kind of staying quiet. Who cares they want it? They didn't want the game last year. Michigan State also wants this game. They're in-state rivals. Now, it could come into play if, like, Harbaugh wants to run up the score. So maybe that's the angle. But both teams off of a bye week. That's much more important for Michigan State. Like, they needed to get healthy. Peyton Doran is going to be healthy. Like, Xavier Henderson in the Wisconsin game, he's their most important defender in the secondary. He was in a boot getting his leg worked on almost every time he came off the field. He's apparently now fully healthy. Slade should be back. He's important in the run game. What does Michigan want to do? They want to run the ball. Michigan State's run D is good. Now, their pass defense is horrendous, but you have Henderson back. And I just think with Thorne now healthy, their offense is underperformed because he's been hurt. He had Reed out for a game. I think they can use some tempo here and like Maryland did and score some points. And I think this is just too many points. And, I think it's like if you go back since 2005, Michigan State 12-5 against the spread in this matchup, covering by just under a touchdown a game. They've won 4 of 6 outright as dogs. Like, this is a rivalry game. Like, and I think that always favors the big dog. Too many points here. Give me Michigan State.
Yeah, I mean, the case can be made for the over here. And when you talk about, it's funny you say horrendous. My word for that was horrific. I mean, the Sparty pasty is extremely bad. And this is a revenge game for Harbaugh, like you mentioned. I mean, cash your tickets. I went to Big Ten Media Days, and Harbaugh could not stop talking about achieving all of his goals. Win the Big Ten, beat Ohio State. Oh, and beat Michigan State. We have not beaten Michigan State. It eats at him that they haven't done this. So how does that apply to the over, right? Well, what it means is first off, this point spread is not legit. It's too high, right? So if you can grin and bear it, yeah, it's too high. But I think the deal is if Michigan does get up by 17, 14, 17, 20, or even 24, we're not taking knees. We're not slowing down. We are going to continue to score. Now, I think
it's going to be like that Iowa game last year in the Big Ten championship.
Yeah. So Harbaugh's not going to let him take his foot off the pedal if he has the chance to go for the jugular on Tucker here. Not sure he does, though. I mean, the Spartans got 34 on Wisconsin. They had 2 offensive TDs on the Buckeyes. I know that there was a pick 6 in that game. So, but I think Harbaugh's just been so uber focused on this game. It's at home. But what worries me about taking the over, I do want to take the over. There's my book in Iowa is offering 54.5. I'd like to get the over on that. But I think what worries me is if Harbaugh decides we want to play bully ball and keep it on the ground and not air it out, which is what you should do against Michigan State. That's a little bit of a worry. But to me, if you could take it, Michigan State, it's completely overinflated. They're scoring points now. And then the over, because Harbaugh is not going to let up. You just need them to be throwing the ball instead of running the ball. So that's where I go.
No, you shouldn't do that against Michigan State. You shouldn't try to just run on them. You should throw it.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't.
Yeah. And Michigan wants to always do that,
The problem is when Jim Harbaugh gets in these games and he wants to prove a point, he keeps it on the ground because he wants to play bully ball. He wants to beat you up in the trench and run all over you. Like, passing is not Michigan's first option, which it should be in this game. That's what worries me about the over.